Guess who this is? Off. So this is us in the food court now on the second floor of the old building, new building. This is where you used to get all your baguettes and things. Grill counters over there. That's where you get your fish and chips on a Friday. Haggis, totties, neeps and burns night. Water cooler. The place is absolutely deserted now, as you can see. There's no one here except us chickens, the CTA and a couple of security guards. All of this here used to be absolutely jumping of a weekday. This used to be the smokers room in here, which was hermetically sealed. The Scottish Executive decided that they were going to take that particular privilege away from the few of us. Apparently smoking gives you cancer or something. The Blue Room, this is where we had many union meetings, which were all particularly fruitless, given the current kind of situation. And here it is. It's all just boxes and stuff now, just all waiting to be junked, skipped. Look, old technology, tape. We don't use tapes anymore. This is where basically people were inducted when you get your ID card activated for Pacific Quay in the brave new world. Anecdotes about the food court. Must have been around about the mid-70s that myself and my colleagues from the mailroom all used to come up here and have a bit of a coffee break in the mornings. And that particular day, one of the guys actually brought out a big spliff, or what looked like a big spliff, and it was herbal tobacco that was actually inside it. So none of us had actually had a wee go at having a blow on some herbal tobacco, so we passed it around the table and it must have looked quite strange. And the next day we filed in and we were all summoned up to the head of personnel, at which point we all ended up in the office wondering what the hell was going on. And we all filed in and we all had a bit of an interview. And at the end of the day, what happened was we were all piled in at the end, and two of Glasgow's finest drug squad officers said, "What were you smoking?" And we said, "Herbal tobacco." And they said, "Right, that's fine." What had actually happened is that one of the canteen workers had got hold of the ashtray we were using and passed it on to the laboratory, and they analysed it, and yeah, in fact it was herbs. So we all had a bit of a lucky escape. Just come and have a look at this. This is the Charles Rennie Mackintosh courtyard. It's right in the bowels of the old building at Queen Margaret Drive, and not a lot of people see this except for BBC employees or the occasional visitor. But as you can see, it's absolutely magnificent. Blonde sandstone building. Charles Rennie Mackintosh is famed for his architecture in Scotland. Two famous other buildings that he's responsible for are the Old School at Scotland Street and the Art School in the centre of the city. As you can see, it's over 100 years old, and this balcony here is famous for having Stanley Baxter playing the Hunchback of Notre Dame years ago for a special. I think it was in the 60s, possibly the early 70s, and I can remember Stanley Baxter up here, hump and all, doing his Esmeralda bit. Stained glass windows as well, absolutely fantastic and classic Rennie Mackintosh style. It's just magnificent. And hopefully when this place is turned into a hotel, it will be a feature so that the general public can actually get in and have a right good look at it. So this is Studio A, and this is the biggest studio in Queen Margaret Drive. Lights please. Quite a magnificent structure, as you can see. It's huge, possibly bigger than the studio at Pacific Quay, although don't quote me on that. Many big productions happened here in the 1970s. There was loads and loads of drama going on in BBC Scotland at that time, and again in the 1980s there was a lot of live stuff went on with the kids. Untied Shoelaces show, I think, was one particular one. It's absolutely amazing. I remember also being in a situation where I was privileged enough to actually see Whispering Bob Harris up here doing an episode of the Old Grey Whistle Test with the sensational Alex Harvey band featuring in it. Studio galleries are up here behind this glass, and in fact there used to be a studio observation room which I used to go up and sit and eat my sandwiches at lunchtime to actually have a look at what was going on, and there was always something happening, always something going on, and it's a shame because it's going to get turned into accommodation or something. Maybe they'll make it a grand ballroom or something, who knows. Oh, such a
day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on. Just a perfect day. Problems all left alone. Weekenders on our own. Such fun. Just a perfect day.